Hi, everybody. This is Alan Fine. We are on the Celebrity Ascent for the Dream Vacation Annual Conference with Jamie Margolis, who is the owner of Moms at Sea and also the winner of the Bobby Hop Franchise of the Year Award. We're going to find out all about that and what's going on at Dream Vacations here on Insider Travel Report. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
You had any idea this was going to happen?
Absolutely no idea that was going to happen, or our other top producer award. Neither one. Both were a surprise.
And, this isn't your first award. You were a Rookie of the Year.
We were Rookie of the Year. Was that last year?
2021. My notes may not be right, but it's 2021?
We were 2021 Rookie of the Year, and we were the year after that, we were the Trailblazer Award. We were the first Trailblazer Award.
Okay, so that's how fresh this whole thing is.
It is.
And it all started, and I should have said this in the opening, you just had a Facebook group about family travel?
Yeah, I started a Facebook group in 2017 after returning from our first cruise with our oldest daughter, Audrey. And I realized that there was a need for more information for families that were planning cruises. They needed to better understand what resources were available on various ships, whether it was a daycare, a children's program, a splash pad for kids in diapers, super important. And so we really just started compiling all that information.
Just for fun?
Well,
what was the ultimate goal? Because we know what it is now.
The ultimate goal was fun, because if you head off on a cruise and you don't know what's there for your kids, you might not have fun, right? So we need to make sure mom and dad are having fun.
Total altruism. You were just hoping to help others.
It was, yeah, because it was difficult for us, and I knew how much we loved cruising before we had kids. And as with so many things with kids, if you want to continue doing it after you have kids, you kind of have to relearn it. There's a learning curve if you want to keep doing it. So you have to start, figuring out how to do it almost from scratch. So, we would look online, see what was offered by the cruise lines as far as what resources they had on the ships. And then within our community, someone might say, no, online it doesn't say that this ship has a splash pad, but I was there last week. And we would say, prove it. And they'd say, okay, here's a picture from last week of the splash pad on that ship. And in 2017, what we didn't realize we were doing at the time was we were compiling this massive bank of user-generated content. And so everyone was able to kind of see this real-time what was going on the ships and know that the resources that they needed were there.
So how massive was this? What before you even became a travel advisor, what was the following and what is it now?
Sure. It started small. I remember the first day I started the group, I think 100 people joined, and I was...
That's not small, but okay.
Well, I was so excited. I was like, they love it, they want it. And so I was so excited just to see that first 100. It slowly grew over the years when I partnered with Dream Vacations to open the agency to go along with our online community. I believe we had about 25 to 35,000 members, and we now have just over 110,000.
How did you make the turn? You pivoted to say this is a business, and what were you doing before that?
Prior to opening my agency, I was previously a pediatric respiratory therapist. And then Families, yeah, understanding the needs of families. Everything's about understanding the needs of your consumer, right? And so it sounds strange, but it was actually a very natural transition because it's all problem solving. We moved around a lot, so I was actually out away from the bedside for a little while, and I just kept nurturing my community. I got so much fulfillment from it, from the relationships that I was building online. Being a mom can be isolating, and so it's surprising how we turn to these online communities to make connections. Right. So it just became a really important thing for me personally to nurture. And we had other agencies come in and try to work with my community, and it didn't catch.
You noticed that some people saw you had this group and they wanted to capitalize on it.
Yeah, and I didn't have the bandwidth at the time. I had my girls were much younger, and people were telling me, don't open a travel agency, partner with a travel agency. And ultimately, the entrepreneurial side of me won over and said, no, like I'm going to do this myself. But we did try to partner with agencies, and it didn't take on within my community because they had not built that personal relationship with my community over the years.
That
I had. And so ultimately, like I said, the entrepreneurial side got the best of me, and I said, I'm going to do this. I've built this relationship, and I think I can do it really well. I understand the needs of my community, what they're looking for, and I think we can do a great job.
Now, you've decided to do this. You said, okay, I'll be the travel advisor that will help all my friends.
Sure.
So what do you do? How do you choose how to align yourself?
Sure. So I started doing my research, and I looked at all the different pathways to becoming a travel advisor. You can, open your independent travel agency. You can join a host agency. You can buy a franchise. And ultimately, that was what I decided on. It gave me the freedom to grow my business, but it also gave me so much of the behind-the-scenes support that I didn't have to go and build and create.
You don't have to recreate the wheel. It's already there for you.
Exactly. So the support was built in, and the possibilities were massive. I wasn't limited to just being able to work by myself. I was able to grow a true business.
Yeah, some people start off from scratch, but you actually had thousands of people you could now turn to and say, guess what?
Guess what? We can now help you book your cruise, which was a really fortunate position to be in. I understand. But another thing that I always tell people is that just because you have a Facebook group or an online community or whatever that may be, I have seen massive groups not monetize, and I've seen very small, well-built communities that are gold mines.
So what do you think is the difference?
Engagement and authenticity.
Okay. Which you have, because you're also a Circle of Excellence member.
We are. This is our.
Explain what that is.
It means, I believe that we're in the top 1% to 2% of the agency. I think it varies from year to year, but it's roughly the top 1% to 2%.
How many conferences have you attended?
This is my second conference.
Okay. And you believe in them?
I do. I think it's really wonderful, and I think that you can come to conference with many different goals, things that you may want to learn, things that you may want to accomplish while you're here, whether it's a specific talk, learning how to integrate AI into your business, using ChatGPT, learning how to network, learning how to use the franchises, the Dream Vacations resources better, or whether it's just here to, meet other people within our network. For me, that's what's really motivating, is to come here and see, Dream Vacations has over 2,200 franchises right now. And if you go around and you talk to every single franchise owner here, you'll find almost 2,200 different business models, right, and 2,200 different things that are working. There's no one pathway to success.
Which shows how versatile the tools are.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's the strength of Dream Vacations.
And one of the things they talked about, we're going to talk about MarTech, is that you can make your homepage be what you want it to be, and you can use the tools the way you want to.
You can.
So far at this conference, what's the big takeaway for you?
I think the big takeaway for me continues to be to not be afraid to make changes, to look at what other people are doing, whether, like I said, it's implementing AI. Don't be scared of it. Figure out how it's going to work within your business so that you can grow. So I just kind of like to look at all the different things that are going on out there and see what I can take from it. What can I implement into my business while still, staying true to myself?
So that's what you did that last conference, you're doing this conference. You're just looking for other little hints of things you could be doing.
Yeah, what am I missing? Where can we fill in some gaps?
That's a good reason to go to conference.
Absolutely. And also just talking to everyone. It's so, it kind of like reignites your year. You look at what you've done this year and you think about what you're going to do the next year, and you talk with all these other motivated, really interesting and exciting business owners, and you go back and you want to take it back to your team and say hey, let's go. We've got some great information.
We go out to 127,000 travel advisors every day, and let's round this off and end up with a double-pronged question. I want to ask you, what advice do you have for travel advisors in general and about Facebook? Let's start with Facebook and then in general.
Okay. About Facebook. Be your authentic self. balance your interactions and your engagement with your community. You want to sell, but you want to sell through providing information. So I always say never ask for a sale without providing value. Provide the value, and then you can say, hey, I can help you with that. And then the guest wants to work with you.
And then in general?
In general, I would say it kind of ties back to the Facebook a little bit. I think that I love to see people find something that they are authentically enthusiastic about. Find something that you absolutely love and just talk about it. You don't have to talk about everything. Find one thing that you love, really dig into it, and become the expert. And then when you pair that with consistent daily actions.
So you're saying specialize?
I am, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Find something.
What's your specialty? What's your specialty?
Family cruising, and we focus really heavily on Royal Caribbean.
Well, thank you for talking to us.
Thank you for having me.
And this is Alan Fine for Insider Travel Report.